Hello, First Baptist Church of Petal. My name is Steve Barker, and a few weeks ago, your crazy pastor came up to me and wanted to know if I would share my testimony or talk about family or talk about being a husband with you. And I don't know, probably 36 or 37 times after telling him no, he kept on bothering me until I finally agreed that I would do it. So that's where we are today, and I guess what I'd like to start off first is talking to you a little bit about my family. I was very fortunate to be raised in what we call a family. I have great parents. I have a brother and a sister who are just outstanding, funny, hilarious. As I got older, I got married, and for y'all that don't know my wife, she was an incredible person. Along with marrying her came my in-laws, and nobody has better in-laws than I do. Then came kids, and I can say the same for them too. Brunley and Larson just have exceeded all my expectations of what kids should be. Then of course comes brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and nieces and nephews, and it just added to the confusion. But what's great about my family is when we get together, it's a party. We laugh 90% of the time, and we eat 10% of the time, or we may laugh the whole time and forget to even eat. So again, I was very fortunate to grow up in a situation like that, and it continues today. But that changed. On July 15th of 2010, I lost my wife to a battle of cancer. Everything changed. My in-laws didn't have a daughter. Her sisters didn't have a sister. My parents didn't have a daughter-in-law. I lost my wife, my best friend. My kids lost their mother, their comfort, their shield. So everything changed. Holidays changed. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, birthdays. Everything changed. But I guess if I get into the second phase of this, of my testimony, would be that one thing didn't change. And that was God and His love, not only for me, but for my family. At the time, I could tell that when I needed comfort, I got it. When I needed strength, I got it. When I needed guidance, I got it. At the time, it was hard. I may not have wanted it, but I knew it was there. And it's what got me through that time. You worry about what your kids are how they're going to respond to this. And when I look at theirs, it's not their testimony, but I'm sharing about them, is that they continue to excel in the classroom. They excelled in their extracurricular activities. So my testimony is that God won't leave you, and He's not going to forsake you. You can be in tough times, the worst times of your life, and don't know what you're going to do. But He was there. 3 years later, He's still there. And without Him, my family, my extended family, probably wouldn't have made it, but we're all Christians, and we held on to that. And that's what makes us smile today. If we can smile, we can, because of Him. So the last part, I've talked a little bit about my family, and I've talked about my testimony. So I guess the last part is to you husbands out there. Last week, Brad talked about, it was kind of funny, I thought, because he was spot on, which usually he's not, but in this instance he was. It was, after about a year and a half, us guys lose our romantic side. And that's true, we do. And But what I want to focus in on is on one thing. It's real small, but it's easy. So it's a goal I want to give you before we get finished. I remember when we got the diagnosis of cancer and we were fixing to leave out of the doctor's office, and me and my wife, we grabbed hands. We leave his office, we walk down the hall into the waiting room, still holding hands. Down the hall, onto the elevator, still holding hands. Down the elevator, through the waiting room, out to our car. Neither one of us really in shock, total disbelief, holding hands. I opened up the car door for her and got on my side, and we left. And the reason why I bring that up is I go back to Brad's message. We lose that romantic side of us, and probably for 20 years, 18 years, I probably didn't hold my wife's hand a lot, but I did that day. When we would go to Lowe's or we'd go to the grocery store, I'd hold her hand. When we'd go to ball games, I'd hold her hand. When we were at MD Anderson, I'd hold her hand. When we were in Arizona, doing chemo in Arizona, I would hold her hand. I'd hold her hand to the plane. Wherever we went, I held her hand. So what I want to encourage you husbands is this. When you leave church today, you need to grab your wife. You need to grab her by the hand. You need to walk her out to the car. When you go somewhere this week, you need to grab your wife's hand. When you come back to church, you need to have her by the hand. That's what you need to do. Trust me when I say this. You're not given tomorrow. It's not promised. Take advantage of it. Hold your wife's hand. You'll be a better man for it. You've heard about my wonderful family. You've heard about my testimony. And now I've given a charge to the men, any man. So thanks for listening, and I hope you take advantage of it. Thanks.